Hey, everybody. I want to encourage somebody today who it's like your assignment, your calling, and your situation are totally just mixed up. Some years ago, when my husband and I were separated, I was called to encourage people, to motivate people. I would have dreams about people, and God would tell me to tell them, maybe to warn them about something happening, or just to encourage them, like to hang on, like God's gonna bless you. Just like words of encouragement. And so I was invited by a church to just minister, man, just share what was in my heart. And y'all, God was giving me words of encouraging to people who were separated, who were in a bad marriage, who just got divorced. Now, once again, my husband and I are not together. He walked away from God at that time. And here I got two babies, two premature babies that I'm dealing with. And yet God has given me words to encourage people who are broken relationships. And I got a lot of resistance, not just from the some of the people. I got resistance for myself. God was using my mother to pray for people and they would get healed while she was in a wheelchair. She was embarrassed, she was ashamed. They would roll her up in the church, and she was one of the pastors. My father was a pastor, she was an assistant pastor. She still had to pray for folks in a wheelchair. She was so embarrassed. She said, Lord, how can I talk about healing and look at me? And God told her something I will never forget. I know it was God. He said, I am not limited by what's wrong with you. I just need a vessel. Baby, when I tell you I had to apply that and I added something, God is not limited by what's wrong with you or your situation. So the fact that my spouse and I were not together, and I'm telling you God's going to fix your home and mine is a mess due to no fault of my own, but it was. I said, Lord, I'm embarrassed. But you know what? I had to minister embarrassed. I was ashamed. I had to minister ashamed. If God told me to tell that woman, honey, God's going to restore your home with a straight face, although he hadn't restored mine, did God say it or didn't he? I was like, Lord, couldn't you use somebody else with a better situation? He said, yes, but I'm going to use you because you're available. Okay. Can I use you? Well, yeah. Okay. Well, you just going to preach embarrassed. Okay. And yes, God did fix it later on. But what I'm saying, y'all, I want to encourage you. Y'all, I knew a pastor. He was pastor, powerful man of God. His wife backslid and went and was in the club turning it up every Saturday night. Started coming to church. They wind up getting divorced. She decided, I don't want God. I don't want to be a pastor's wife. I'm going to go out. And that's exactly what she did. What was he supposed to do? Stop preaching? Give up the church because his wife walked away from God? Or was he supposed to still stand, which I know was not easy because you knew everybody was talking. I know he had to stand there and preach God's word with a straight face. A choice. Am I going to wait and be silent on the sidelines until God restores my marriage, until God saves my husband? Y'all, I would have been waiting a long time because it was years before we got back. Years. So was I going to be quiet for years and just sit and wait till God fixed it? Or was I going to go with a straight face, with people talking, with folks say, now look, she up there talking about preaching the gospel. Look at her own house is out of order. Her own husband ain't saved. He sure wasn't. And what was I going to do about it? I want to encourage every man, every woman. Y'all started out on the same team, but baby, somebody that went a different way. Don't you sit on the sidelines waiting for it to get better before you do what God called you to do. You better keep on keeping on with a straight face. And yes, you may be embarrassed. You may be talked about. You may be ashamed. But do what God called you to do. Let's tell the truth. Everybody don't have no good testimony. Sometimes the resolution, y'all, are not back together. Sometimes the resolution is God restores it. He saves your other half and y'all got a powerful testimony. And sometimes the testimony is we did not make it, but I survived into one piece. God restored me. You see, maybe the marriage is not restored, but can God restore you despite what happens? That's the thing. If you can say, I stayed with God, I did what God called me to do, embarrassed, ashamed, crying, want to run out the back door, absolutely. But I'm saying, woman, you better keep on preaching the gospel. Man of God, you better still keep doing what he called you to do. I still, y'all, I'm a writer. I write books about faith based, beautiful marriages and relationships. Yo, I started writing the book about a beautiful wedding and relationship when my own home was broken up. But God gave me the words of encouragement to share to millions of people who has and who will buy this book. Was I supposed to quit writing and wait till my situation was better? Or did I say, you know what? I'm going to keep on doing what He called me to do? So I encourage y'all, you don't have time to sit on the sidelines. Time is short.